In today's video, I'm going to be walking through 3 trades that I took this morning, 2 that was winners, 1 that was a loser. I'm going to walk through the exact strategies that I used, and these are the exact strategies that I used to trade for the last 7 years as a full-time trader in the crypto and the futures markets now. This is my performance over the last 318 trades, 56% win rate, 5-to-1 profit loss ratio, and a 6.41 profit factor. So we're going to start off the 3 trades that I took: oil, gold, and then Bitcoin. Okay, these were all futures trades across the board here. We're going to start off with oil. So the overall trade setup here was, or context for the trade, I should say, is that we were going to sweep downside liquidity of our range that we were having form out here and then be able to pop back up. So I was looking for signs of us popping up once we took that downside liquidity. Now, the fun thing about oil right now, it's pretty volatile given all of the Iran and Strait of Hormuz stuff going on. And so I've got a nice little advantage here of using financialjuice.com. They've got a squawk box here that gives pretty real-time notifications to events that are popping up. And so we started off this morning here at 11:13 with the U.S. escorted an oil tanker through the Strait of Hormuz. And this ended up being fake news that ended up coming out 11:53 to 11:57 later that morning. If we take a look at this here, according to the context of the overall plan, we were dropping down to take this downside liquidity when that news came out right here. Okay, and so we had this extra little cascade that then popped up once we found out that it was fake news. So this was all a little bit of an overreaction after coming down to take downside liquidity. Once we popped up here, then we had our actual trade setup come in and start taking place. So the first thing that I look for is that we engulf all the way back up to the bearish order block of which we created after taking downside liquidity. So that's us sweeping all of these lows here. I can then use Bookmap, which is basically order flow. I can use the heat maps on there to confirm all of the liquidity was swept and taken down here, and that market buyers are entering back into the market. So I've got that in cohesion with this as we're getting this engulfing move back up, but you can basically already see it in price action. Then we've got a drawback here. And at this point, what I'm looking for to occur is basically, let me bring this in, zoom into the 1 minute here, is I've got my engulfing move and I'm looking for a retracement back to retest the previous low back here that we basically took out. There's an inverse fair value gap there. And we've got our bullish order block as well, which is the last selling candle that takes place before we actually come up here and break the candle highs. We don't break the wick high, but we do break the candle close highs of that bearish order block there. So that's the retracement. We get a reaction off of it. I enter into that. Stop is underneath our lower little order block here before we had to change a character on the 1 minute time frame. And now I'm looking for this to break up. Now, as this is going up, we do have the potential that this can basically just do a little 3-wave move and then roll back to retest this zone and bounce again. So I don't want to move my stop up too tight there until we've kind of cleared, which we end up doing with this bullish engulfing candle here. And you'll actually see as we go back over to the squawk box, U.S. intelligence assets have begun to see indications Iran is taking steps to deploy mines in the Strait of Hormuz shipping lane. So you can see right as that news pops out, that was right in alignment in favor of the long here towards the upside. So that news popped off right here to really give that squeeze right up into the 1-to-1 target. Now I'm just looking for trading legs of equality. So I wasn't looking for much more than that. And reality is I probably, even if I'd trailed a stop loss up on this move here, that stop loss probably would have gotten triggered right at the same exact area anyways on that pullback. The whole trade worked out really nicely there. So that was that trade on oil. Then we've got gold was another winner here. And gold, the premise here, the context that we had was that we're range bound. And we just had, let me go up to a 4-hour time frame so you can see this. So after this big massive drop over here, the projection has just been that we're going to be in price contraction. Gold loves triangles, so probably going to see price contraction in the form of a triangle. But either way, just looking for legs of equality across the board in all of these moves back and forth. Just chop, 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 back and forth. Okay, so when we go down here, we get this drawdown over here. So I'm looking for a connecting leg to this leg over here. And we're just range bound until we finish this range and make that next leg down. Most likely option for us to do is to take topside liquidity before making that connecting leg back towards the downside. So the plan here was, as we go down into 15 minutes, is that we sweep topside liquidity, right, across all these highs. And that it was exactly this move here into our breaker order block, and we also have a bearish POB order block as well that are stacked on top of each other here. So the stop loss goes on the opposite side of that. And I've got reversal divergence also present between my two tops here, showing that momentum slowing down. Stop goes above the bearish order block high, and then we look for this to reject down. Now, if you're trading futures, depending on whether or not you're doing prop firms or you're doing your own personal account, dictates whether or not you can actually swing trade a futures contract, right? So if you're on prop firm, you're just going to go for something short and tight. And if you're doing it on a personal account, then you can obviously swing trade and look for that to drain off a lot lower. But in this case here, this was just more of a short scalp where I was looking for these lows over here to get swept, give us a nice little market structure break, and that would be the first sign of weakness that things were going to continue rolling towards the downside, and that we'd get a trend shift here instead, and we'd lose this little uptrend that we had going that basically was just sweeping the buy side liquidity. In this move here, I had a TP1 underneath my first change of character, which was at 5,200 or 5,193 right there. And then my next one was underneath these lows that got missed, and we popped back up here. And I brought my stop down into profit and then just kind of kept trailing it here until the trading day was cut off, and I just exited in this accumulation zone here. Okay, so the overall trade was a little bit more like a 1.5. Well, not even that, more of like a 1-to-1 in regards to risk reward ratio. So not ideal in that regards, but that is how this trade ended up playing out there. Okay, so we were trying to go for the sweep the lows, didn't quite hit TP2 on that. Third one is Bitcoin. Bitcoin was a loser on this trade setup here. Basically, if we go out to higher time frame context here, we have this argument as to this whole range that we're being in, starting to connect back towards the downside and take out our lows again. And because of that, my bias is more that this is going to be short side. However, this morning, things got a little bit volatile, and we had this little engulfing move back up. Now, this bearish order block is where I would have expected the move to shift back towards the downside. So when this popped up there, that changed the bias. I'm like, okay, well, this looks like it could be the start of something. And if it is, then we're going to need to bull flag out and consolidate above our breaker order block and our bullish order block on a lower time frame here. These are our two major areas of support for us to kick back up off of here. We did end up hanging out up here for quite some time, and that actually looked really good for a bull flag. So when we came down here and we just tested the top side of this bullish order block and we popped off of it, that was good enough signals for me for a moneymaker strategy here to break back towards the 1-to-1 there. Unfortunately, it just rolled off and we weren't able to sustain this being the start of something. We can now have 100% confirmation that it's the end of something instead, which tells us that this whole rally here was a corrective rally that just took that topside liquidity of our bearish order blocks over here. This was our range where we spent the most amount of time, so your point of control is basically going to be right there from a volume standpoint for this drawdown here. And so taking all of this topside liquidity is what this move right here did, and then now we can project or reject back towards the downside. So probably pretty good chance that we're going to continue moving back down. At this point, however, if we do get back above 71,920, then I'll look for more bullish sentiment and trading with that new trend at that point. But until then, this still looks like it was just a liquidity grab and a fake out. So that's the third trade and why it resulted in a loser there. Lastly, you guys can come and join me for live trading every single day, Monday through Friday, inside of my inner circle here. I've got my trading streams that I do, and then I also post the static images for the strategy setups if they're outside of our live trading window time here. So had the Bitcoin setup posted, the oil setup posted as well, and even did the gold setup too. I'll post a link down in the description below. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so if you're not happy with it, then I'll refund your money back to you. But otherwise, I hope to see you in there. Much love, you guys. Take care.